Hello guys, today I wanna talk about something that people are probably trying to find on the internet, but they can't. And I've been trying to find this for a very long time, and this is how much light do certain species of plant actually need. And it was very difficult to find, and to be honest, I couldn't find it. I actually could only do that through my own experience, and I want to share it. And I'm mostly talking about light requirements of houseplants. Usually, when you Google light requirements for, let's say, like spathiphyllum, let's do that just right now. Just spathiphyllum, light requirements, whatever, right? And what we see is usually like something like that. Ideally, keep Pislilis in a spot that gets bright indirect light. So you get something very vague and unspecific. What is like bright indirect light? And as a person who is used to something very specific, as a person who likes to use numbers, I truly it gets me confused and frustrated. And as some people probably know, there is a certain concept of PPFD. And what it means basically is how much light your plant gets, how much photons of light of each wavelength your plant gets. And basically plant has a spectrum that it likes, like a photosynthetic spectrum. And as you can see, it doesn't have all of the colors, that it needs. Unfortunately, I can see. Yeah, here it is. So this is like the light that plant needs, a lot of red, a little bit of blue, just slightly less of green. And grow lights are designed so it can fit the needs of the plant, there are different like photons, red photons, like purple photons, and we basically take everything that plant needs and omit everything that it doesn't. And this is called like PPFD, and that's something that you should be looking for when you choose a grow light. You need a grow light that first has all the spectrum that the plant needs, so it should have a lot of blue, a lot of red, and this and that. But also you need ideally light that doesn't consume a lot of energy while providing plant with all of the necessary so-called like colors, for different plants need different PPFD value. PPFD actually means how much photons plant get just each second. And every plant has different PPFD requirements. And a lot of people who, for example, are cannabis growers, know that. But maybe if you're a person who knows how to grow cannabis but wants to learn how to grow something else, you will probably face this difficulty of finding PPFD values for household plants. For example, like spathiphyllum PPFD. It's very hard to find. It's nowhere to be found. Like bright, indirect light requirements by appliance type. And here is the guy talking about the thing that I'm talking about right now. Right, so you need to actually like measure the light. And there is a simple tool to do that. It's called like luxmeter. But when you actually like find exact numbers, it's a little bit confusing. Spathiphyllum. God damn, where is it? Like, okay, peace lily. It's peace lily. Okay, and you find that for like good growth, it needs 40. It needs 40 micromoles. But if you look to the commercial light levels, you see that like it's 300 to 500 micromoles, which is a lot. It's basically like 10 times more. So, and my question has always been like, why is it like that? Why for the good growth you need 40, and for commercial, and by commercial I always thought that it's just the best you can get, you know, the best result you can get. You need like 10 times more. To me it's always been ridiculous, you know. And I tried to check it. I literally just tried to check it. I have a luxmeter. Well, probably I will just make a video of that, make a footage of my garden. I think it's so much easier to explain it like that.
Alright, so now I want to share some of my findings. I found that if you keep your plants under like very high PPFD values, like mentioned, under like 300, 500, you get something like that. So they become yellow and they lose their coloring. So I would say that this is total BS. Like, you should never keep your spathiphyllums under 300, like 500 PPFD, because it will basically hurt them. They're pretty hardy, so they are more or less okay with that. But you're probably looking for something more like that. So, as you can see, it's a lot greener and it has more color, and it has larger leaves. So I found that in relatively low light conditions, spathiphyllums tend to get a little bit wider, you know. And I think I can show that in a better way if we look at this spathiphyllums, you know. So if we look at this one, you can see that it has like broad, shiny leaves, pretty cool, like ribbed structure. Like, this is something that you expect from this species, right? But if you look here, it feels like it grows into itself. And that's what you get under really high PPFD values. My recommendation is keeping it under maybe like 40 or at least under 100 PPFD, so they grow very well. And don't go too far, like maybe to 10 or 15 PPFD, because you will get something like that, you know. You will get very long petioles, and your plant will be like too high. To me, I'm not a big fan of that, because it looks a little bit ill. Camera doesn't really convey that very well, but it doesn't look as good as like this, you know. You can see the clear difference in size. And also you probably shouldn't go too high with PPFDs, or you will get this kind of very strange yellowish tint to the plant that doesn't look very well. You will have some maybe burns, and it will look like it has no petals whatsoever. They're so short that they are almost non-existent. So for those who are looking to direct numbers, I would go for something between like 40 and 100 ppfd for spathiphyllums. I think this is a sweet spot. Again, it might depend on different varieties. For example, some variegated ones might feel better in a highlight condition. So basically, that's pretty much it. That's pretty everything that I wanted to share with you.
So I'm sorry for the quality of the video, because I just wanted to make a point. I struggled to find an answer on the internet, and it just doesn't exist on YouTube. So maybe I will be the first one to upload the video about PPFD values for spathiphyllum. But as I found out, keep it from 40 to 100 if you want if you really want to care for plants professionally, like truly professionally, not like using the terms like indirect or direct light, because to me it just doesn't make sense. Everybody has different understanding of what's direct or what's indirect. Sometimes, for example, the sun is behind the clouds, and do you count it as being direct or indirect at this point? So you never know. I never know until you measure. So please use your lux meters. And lux meters is this things for whom don't know what it is. It's this thing that you can buy for very, very cheap. For example, like for like 18 pounds, something like that. And it measures how much light your plants get. And there are like conversion tables for that. For example, if you grow plants under where is it? Oh my god. Yeah, let's say like white fluorescent, you need to multiply this value by this, and if you are using, let's say, HPS, yeah, you should multiply it by this number. So it's very convenient. I'm using very cool LED lights, like quantum boards and this kind of stuff. So I just basically divide it by 10 and multiply by 2. If you measure it in food candles, for example. So, and yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Again, like, I'm sorry for the quality. I know this is complete garbage, but I hope I answered your question. So, yeah, like the video and comment, maybe tell me that I'm stupid and I did something wrong. I'm very I welcome those comments as well, because I want to start this conversation. I want to start a conversation about plant care, because I see that houseplant community doesn't care at all about numbers, and I think they should. I see only cannabis growing community truly embraces the world of plants. They know biology well, they know different mediums well, I mean substrates and this and that. They know exactly how much PPFD cannabis plant should get, and they know how much nutrients they plant should get. So, and this can be easily translated to other plants too, but there is not enough experimentation going around. So if one, for example, buys, I don't know, peace lily for himself, and he wants to make an absolute best out of this plant. Where to go if you just don't know how much your plant should get? Like, to me, it's just mind-boggling how, with the technology we have and with the experience, that people have, we still cannot get this information. So I encourage you to experiment with your plants too, like I do. Maybe in the future I will make a better video about it, because this one is just to answer a very specific question. So thanks for watching.